Charlotte Coliseum, the Tar Heels, the Cavaliers into the tournament. The Tar Heels have won 8 of 11. Last year in the semis, Carolina won but lost Derek Phelps. He was unable to play the championship game. And Carolina lost to Georgia Tech. Underway with the 41st championship. And Virginia takes the opening tip. Cavaliers have defeated Maryland and Duke to advance to the title game. And the youngsters have let them. Deane and this man, Robinson. He misses the three and Phelps rebounds.
North Carolina started in the man-to-man. They're immediately going to run him down the court, trying to get a basket in transition. And there they got it. That's exactly what Jeff Jones talked about before the game. And Virginia could not afford to let North Carolina get easy opportunities.
Rasheed Wallace, who had been starting in front of Salvadori, not in there today, late this morning. So Salvadori gets the start ahead of Rasheed. No doubt Wallace will play and play a lot.
Virginia's had success in this tournament by attacking the basket on the dribble.
And Rose says that Cornell Parker stepped out of bounds. Of course, Wallace on the Carolina bench had that monster game on Friday against Florida State with 16 rebounds and 17 points. Saddled with foul difficulties yesterday against Wake Forest.
Virginia opens in the zone defense. This is the way they opened the ball game yesterday against Duke. They had success in the early going with the defense. They'll find Donald Williams on the perimeter. You got to make sure you cover up the big guys inside. That's a tremendous job to make Montross push the ball back out. Force a turnover.
Sometimes, Dan, that defense is tougher than a 50-cent steak for Virginia, but it's a tall order today because the Tar Heels have such an imposing front line, and hitting them in the half-court game is one thing, trying to stop them is another.
Well, you're absolutely right, Bob, but if you're going to beat North Carolina, they're going to try to attack you along the baseline, and you simply have to shut that off. And what North Carolina's doing is Virginia's not able to get all the way to the basket on the penetration. Parker hits the three. That's going to be critical. North Carolina's defense allowing Virginia to penetrate, but then forcing them to kick the ball back outside. Perimeter shooting, I think, is going to be very important for Virginia today.
Yeah, a good sign, perhaps, for the Cavs. Parker just a 24% three-point shooter. There's a block by Burrow on Salvador.
Virginia zone reacting very, very well. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Williams runs it up and in.
That's why he's such a dangerous player. He's healthy and playing well. It's one of the things that just elevates North Carolina to a level that I don't know that anybody can beat. Who else can play like that?
Deane up and in.
What upper body strength by Harold Deane. Does a great job maintaining his balance even once he gets in the air under defensive pressure.
Robinson with the steal. Reese takes it back. But Virginia will have it.
Mr. Excitement, Jamal Robinson. Has he been a story in this tournament or what?
He's been amazing. He's really been the X factor for Virginia. No one figured that this young man from Jamaica would come in and New York would make such a tremendous impact on a team. But he's really turned things around for Virginia.
Well, he's not only been the X factor, he's been a couple other letters too, because Virginia has really played well with him in the ballgame.
Burrow turns to fire.
Now you're going to be able to get the ball in there some, and Burrow, who struggled with his shooting yesterday, is going to have to get hot from the inside if Virginia's going to pull the upset.
You talk again, Dan, about the Carolina baseline power.
And that's nothing but power right here. Montross is going to catch the ball. Burrow cannot let him get that far underneath the basket. Now there's the bump by Montross. Enough, not really a very big bump. When a 300-pound guy bumps you, you stay bumped generally, and Burrow just far enough off that he was not in a position to block the ball.
Montross floating in the foul shot. He was just 1 of 8 at the line against Florida State. He came back yesterday to hit 3 of 5 against the Deacons.
Can't let Montross catch the ball anywhere in the colored area within 3 or 4 feet of the basket. You've got to push him out.
And again,
that's twice now. Parker stepped out of bounds. I've heard of pushing the limits, but the court limits are rather finite. They're not going to expand or contract.
tie game at 5.
Virginia stays in the zone. Montross. The question is whether or not they're going to go down and charge
Story for the Tar Heels, 9-8. One thing the Cavaliers must avoid, Dan, as you know, those dry spells that they seem to have, where the offense just shuts down and nothing goes. Can't have those today against the Tar Heels.
Oh, absolutely. North Carolina plays very well defensively, but the key is scoring points and Robinson with 3 more.
Cavalier fans say, just don't let this kid out.
Don't tell him how important this is. And most of the Virginia fans that are here can tell you who Wally Walker is, but I don't know if Jamal Robinson can or not.
18 years since that magic had landed over Stackhouse, flying in here.
So far early in this game, Bob, we're continuing the trend that we've seen in this entire tournament, and that is the freshmen really performing very, very well.
Three for Junior.
Jones knows that this is going to continue. His team's not going to make threes every time down the court. He's been coaching 4 years, done a great job, and already he's got the concern with the extra space permanently. Cavaliers 4 of 5 from 3-point range.
And the loose ball. Phelps takes it down. Held ball. The arrow favors Carolina. And we got a timeout here in Charlotte. Our first 14:38 left in the half. The Cavaliers off to a quick start. Returning after this. Virginia 14, Tar Heels 10 here with 14:38 left in the half. And Dan, some rarefied air for Virginia, shooting 71%.
Bob, Virginia's a team that shoots only about 39% on the year. They've shot 42% in the ACC tournament. Their 3-point shooting only about 30% on the year. So if you're North Carolina, you have to figure you continue to play tough defensively. Virginia's going to cool off, and you raised the point before. Virginia tends to have long scoring droughts, and they absolutely can't afford one of those today. If you're going to beat the Tar Heels, you have to outscore them because they've got guys like that. You know, Virginia shot 71% from the field, and they're only ahead by 1 point.
Defensive pressure from the Tar Heels is relentless.
That's a great move by Williford to dribble out of the double team. You get trapped down in there in the corner by Montross and Salvador, you'll stay trapped. 15 seconds on the shot clock. See Phelps point Parker toward the baseline.
Robinson getting
Stackhouse got a piece of it.
Score the basket.
That was a great offensive possession by Virginia. They avoided a couple of double-team traps, and then even though the shot got blocked, they got an offensive rebound. And watch this, Stackhouse is going to get a hand on the ball. Look at the shot clock. We're down to 4. The ball doesn't hit the rim, but there's Parker inside battling. That foul occurred with 1 second left on the shot clock.
Harry Barnes coming in now for Virginia. Chris Alexander is out, and Parker at the free throw line. He scored 5 and a grand total of 10 points in the first 2 games. And he buries the foul shot.
And that's more typical of Virginia basketball, to shoot the ball and get it off the offensive boards. They're very effective in that particular category, and now they switch back to the man-to-man defense. This is the bread and butter Virginia defense right here. Oh, yeah, tap it!
Yes.
That young man is just so quick around the basket. If he stays 4 years at North Carolina, he may set an all-time record for free throws attempted and free throws made. Look at the great position he gets on Jamal Robinson inside, and then even though he's got 3 Virginia guys coming around him, they can do nothing more than foul.
Dan Stackhouse has attempted 21 foul shots in this tournament. That's number 22, and he's got 5 points. Tar Heels trailing by 1.
You shoot the ball as well as he does from the free throw line, and you get there at least 10 times a game, you're going to score an awful lot of points. Virginia's got to attack the North Carolina defense. When they trap, they've got to get the ball to shooting position.
Parker faking, driving, dishing, contact from behind, and out of bounds. The shot clock at 8 seconds. stay tuned at halftime for the Volkswagen ACC Women's Report.
Watch Eric Montross stop Parker, then turn quickly, get those big arms up in the air. That's a tremendous defensive play. 7 on the shot clock.
Parker, 4, 3, and a steal. Phelps all the way.
Transition baskets by North Carolina could be the death of the University of Virginia. Jeff Jones knows that his team has to get down the court and quickly establish themselves defensively.
Burrow kicks it out to Deane. Arrow will put it up and hit it.
That was a tough shot.
Yes. 19-18 game.
Donald Williams did a nice job defensively there. Deane just made, as he has done this entire tournament, just made a tremendous shot. Deane is so strong in the upper body that he can really get the ball up in tough situations.
Substitutions. Reese, McGinnis, Calabria for the Tar Heels. Robinson is out. And Williford back in for Virginia.
Derek Phelps taking a seat along with Donald Williams, and Phelps has done pretty good work already in this basketball game. That last steal makes him the all-time North Carolina steal leader, passing George Lynch.
And 19, Tar Heels 18.
Boy, Calabria was a big factor in the game yesterday with his three-point shooting.
Stackhouse off and in again.
I don't think that Virginia has anybody who can defend him.
They just don't have a defensive answer for that.
Well, particularly with this lineup, because you either have to guard Stackhouse in the man-to-man with Yuri Barnes or with Junior Burrow, and they're just not quick enough to stay with him more than 5-6 feet from the basket.
And McGinnis got him going by.
I think it's going to be very important for both Yuri Barnes and Junior Burrow to make themselves available when Deane penetrates into the lane like that.
We will be back after this word from our good friends at Bud Light. You know, I was thinking about Derek Phelps. He did not have the chance to participate in the championship game last year because of injury. In '91, when the Tar Heels won it, he was a backup to King Rice. He'd really like to grab that championship in his final chance.
I don't think there's any question about that. And the thing about Phelps yesterday is Randolph Childress just used him almost the entire game, scored 31 points, but didn't get anything down the stretch. Childress didn't.
Stackhouse.
What a tremendous play by Burrow.
That was 2 in the back, and Burrow took it right away.
But Phelps shut Randolph Childress down over the last 3 minutes of that game and in the overtime period. So he helped his team get to this championship game.
Reese lost it. Now Burrow in the middle to Parker.
I think Parker was afraid of an over and back violation, which is why he stopped.
And Williford, after clanging one, comes back to drain the 3.
As we said, Virginia's coming out here. They feel confident that they've gotten a bid to the NCAA tournament already secured. They really have nothing to lose. They can afford to play very loose.
No goal!
Barnes is going to get called for the foul, and so I think you might see Virginia maybe taking some chances. I don't know that it's necessarily coach-approved chances, but the players will be taking some chances, doing some things that maybe they wouldn't normally do. May make for a very entertaining afternoon of basketball. Once again, as Barnes gets called for that foul, you can see how close to the basket Montross was when he caught the ball. You just can't let him in there. Much easier to say, however, than to do. At his size, he can pretty much go where he wants to.
Tar Heels trailing by 2, 10.5 to go in the first half. You see the three-point numbers. Virginia has already hit 5.
That's as many as they've hit in the entire tournament coming into this.
McGinnis.
McGinnis had a heck of a ball game when Phelps missed the second Virginia game in Chapel Hill.
3rd tie. We've had 7 lead changes in the game.
And this is one of the keys to the basketball game right here. Can North Carolina control Harold Deane out on the point? And if they can do that, can they control this kid?
Williford able to keep the dribble alive.
13 on the shot clock.
And the press row.
Never really controlled the basketball well. Lost the dribble a couple of times. 5 turnovers now for Virginia. He was matched up with Salvadori. He wanted to take him to the basket. Good idea, not very good execution, however, for Virginia. And they're back to the zone. Oh my, what a move!
And Alexander came back and swatted it away. Deane lost the dribble. Back to Carolina.
This is 2 great plays right here. Watch this step that Stackhouse makes. Catches the ball in there, turns with the fake. How quick can you be? But Alexander recovers. Deane just dribbles the ball off his foot. You have to credit McGinnis with a good defensive play. He made Deane stop and turn around.
And Rasheed Wallace off the bench. Ready for his first action. Big cheer for the Carolina faithful. Now we've got a foul called on Chris Alexander trying to hold off Salvadori.
And that's what the official said. Holding off on Salvadori.
Wallace is in. Stackhouse goes to the bench. Maybe one of those little lulls for the Cavaliers. They haven't scored in a couple of minutes. Carolina looking to take the lead.
Well, Virginia has relied on defense the entire year, and when they're in those offensive lulls, their defense has to get them through. Wallace really banging Alexander inside.
Williams getting tuned up for the NCAAs. It's another 3.
Last Virginia points were at 10 minutes and 58 seconds of this half, so they've gone 2 minutes now without scoring. Turned the ball over a couple of times in succession.
Williford gets his own miss.
What a tremendous play by Jason Williford.
They belong to Virginia.
Virginia really battling on the offensive boards, but as we mentioned, that's something they do very effectively anyway, and this may be a counterweight to that Cavalier crashing of the boards.
Burrow returns for the Cavaliers.
Oh, push.
And a foul to boot. That was a busted play all the way around.
Virginia just didn't execute the inbounds play very well. They ran a screen out of the top, forced the switch. Burrow was really mismatched inside against McGinnis. Wallace and Montross were both out of the picture. But a bad pass by Jamal Robinson.
Cavaliers have already turned it over 7 times.
3 times in a row they've turned the ball over.
Calabria.
Get up, Chris! Montross gets forced to in the basket, just stronger than Chris Alexander. Alexander had both hands on the basketball. Montross just pushed it in the hoop.
The North Carolina lead is 7. Parker for 3. No. Alexander back up and over Wallace. 27-24.
Montross set up housekeeping on his 2 feet of the basket again.
Calabria. Missing the 3. Wallace off balance.
Here's Montross again banging it basketball.
Calabria. Boy, Carolina getting their fair share of offensive rebounds in the last few minutes.
Virginia back into the man-to-man. Remember, Burrow has 2 personal fouls.
And he's matched up with Montross. Calabria penetrates. Nowhere to go with that pass.
Virginia really forced to go back to the man-to-man defense. When Donald Williams is going to start lighting it up from the perimeter, they got to get Cornell Parker out guarded.
And Parker will shoot. Lenny Wirtz, one of the 3 officials today, along with Frank Scagliotta and Larry Rose. And for Lenny, working his 11th championship game today. He first worked at ACC Championship in 1965.
He told me that this was his 25th ACC tournament.
For 2 shots.
One of the all-timers.
He is the only man to officiate an ACC final in 4 different decades. Parker was 7.
He probably refereed that NCAA championship game that Jim Smith played it.
We'll ask him during the next break. Free throw by Cornell and the rebound to Derek Phelps.
So we're going to ask Deane or Lenny?
We're going to ask, well, Lenny, but he'll be closer to it.
There's Alexander, picks up the foul. Derek Phelps just doing a great job penetrating into the lane. That was a transition play. Virginia wasn't set defensively, so the big guy picks up the foul, guarding a little bit.
7:08 left in Championship Sunday from Charlotte. First team.
The college basketball season should end that way because it certainly has been that way the entire season.
And once again, continuing a rather recent trend to the ACC, Dan, the top seed doesn't make it to the championship.
North Carolina spreading the court now. Try to give Phelps a on Harold Deane, and that's why. Jeff Jones not particularly happy with that call. Feels like Derek Phelps may have pushed off getting to the basket. For Harold Deane, it's going to be extremely important that he move his feet and prevent that penetration, because if Phelps forces Virginia to help out against him, that leaves Montross, Wallace, Stackhouse, whoever might be in the game for North Carolina, leaves them with some opportunities inside.
Phelps picking up his 6th point. He did not play in the game against Virginia in Chapel Hill out with a knee injury. Had 10 points and 5 assists. The teams met in Charlottesville. That one won by the Cavaliers, 81-77.
Of course, the best work Derek Phelps did at the free throw line yesterday was he missed.
Indeed. Opened the door. The Tar Heels via Dante Calabria tied the game and then won it in overtime against the Ducks. Here come the Carolina Traps and Chris Havlicek in the ball game now for Virginia.
See, Virginia beats the Traps, but they're still out by half court. Boy, that is a tough shot.
Williams and Montross just smothering Deane's look at the basket. And now Dunn clutching and missing.
Deane tipped it away from Havlicek. He was going to run down the ball.
Over the goal, out of bounds. And boy, Robinson and Wallace with a little shoving contest underneath.
Two of the more enthusiastic freshmen in this tournament.
Watching Wallace and Robinson play reminds me of the old Vince Lombardi line. He said, if you aren't fired with enthusiasm, you'll be fired with enthusiasm. And boy, these kids have got enthusiasm. Deane, 3, yes!
He had time to set himself up.
His 5th three-pointer of the championship.
Good movement without the ball. Good screening action inside. There's Montross. Again, way under the basket. Rasheed Wallace can't control that.
Virginia with it for changes. Cornell Parker coming into the game. And for the Tar Heels, Stackhouse is back along with Calabria.
Harold Deane, nobody's guarding him. There's nobody guarding Harold Deane. Phelps was all the way on the other side of the court, just couldn't get through the screen. Nice job by Deane to recognize where the open spot on the court was located and go to it. Foul on Stackhouse.
Terry's first.
That's not a bad foul. You put tremendous pressure on Virginia. You get a foul that time, but you don't know what that leads to later on in the basketball game when maybe North Carolina's depth begins to take its toll.
Williford coming in for Robinson.
Jeff Jones having a chat with Jamal Robinson on the Virginia bench. Montross, let's see who that foul's on. It's called against Wilson. Montross and Wilson just laying the elbows on one another, and Wilson was the guy who got caught. That's 8 turnovers now for Virginia. That scoring, that's the last North Carolina basket occurred at 8 minutes and 28 seconds. They have had 2 free throws, but they haven't had a basket in the last 3 minutes.
Toward the conclusion of our telecast, we'll be announcing the players of the game, brought to you by Nations Bank.
When these two teams get together, you expect physical play, and certainly that's what we've seen so far.
Phelps comes out of there with it. Looked like Wilson was going to drop it.
Wilson was so busy pushing off inside against Rasheed Wallace, he could only get one hand on the ball. As I said, we're going to see physical play.
Phelps with daylight. Derek with 9 first-half points.
North Carolina doing an excellent job getting some baskets in transition and doing a great job on the offensive boards. That's probably the difference in this Montross does a great job stepping out on those screens, and if you're the guy Montross is guarding and he leaves you, you got to go someplace, make yourself available. And it looks like Montross outdoors.
First one on Kevin. Well, you're Harold Deane. 6'1", 6,570 pounds. And Montross.
That's what we're talking about with Montross. Montross just leaves Wilson. And Wilson just stands there. Wilson's got to go someplace. He allows Calabria to cover him up. He's got to go and get in position to help Harold Deane.
Alexander, Virginia lineup.
Barnes got it back. Missed it. Alexander inside.
He's the big kid out there, all right.
McGinnis.
And another. Oh! Fouls on Harold Deane.
Stackhouse will step up to the free throw line.
You know, Virginia may have gone into this game saying they're going to be loose. They have nothing to lose. They didn't look like a real loose coach over there, having that discussion with Chris Anderson. Junior Burrow is on the bench with his 2 personal fouls, and Jeff Jones desperately needs to get some play out of Alexander and Sean Wilson, particularly on the boards. And North Carolina just kicking Virginia all over the ballpark on the offensive boards at the moment.
Averaging 12.3 per game in a sensational freshman year. Double figures in 18 of his last 24 games. He has just improved so much as the season has progressed.
And that's a scary thought because he was pretty good to start with.
Exactly. Tar Heels 32, Virginia 28. We'll be back after these words. Cavs have hit 6 of 10 from three-point range, 4 of 11 from two-point range.
And now with Harold Deane out of the basketball game, Cornell Parker going to have to handle the ball.
And Wallace
Williford's alone in the corner if they can find him.
It's the three.
That's a big basket. That is the classic way to defeat North Carolina. To beat the trap, find the guy who's open and drill that three-point shot.
It's almost a must. Wallace unable to complete that play as Parker intervened.
Wallace on his backside complaining to the officials, and that's something that he has a propensity to do.
Carolina ball.
Now, there's a lot of contact down here, but I think it's a pretty good no call. As Parker goes up, knocks the ball away, he and Wallace get tangled up and fall down. Now watch Wallace, he doesn't get up and go down the court, he starts talking to the officials. The young man's going to learn someday that you're not going to catch any breaks if every time something happens you yell at the officials. I'm not saying the officials are always right, but it's always right to keep your mouth shut.
Wallace. Now Stackhouse.
Carolina wearing them out inside.
34-31 Tar Heels.
Calabria gets called for the bump.
First foul on Dante. And his name, no doubt, will be etched in the Carolina record books after that play up to tie the game yesterday. Metro Championship, and that's a final. Louisville defeating Southern Mississippi.
Here we go again. There's Nebraska beating Oklahoma State.
Boy, Danny Deane, what a job he's done this year.
Providence and Georgetown, they're 2 surprise teams in that Big East championship.
Airs it, and the rebound to Wallace.
Oh boy, did you see how quick
He's got another gear. A lot of folks don't have.
Wow. He just explodes up the basketball court. He's in the middle of that pack there. Look him get out on the wing. And Derek Phelps, that's what you want your point guard to do, is pitch the ball ahead aggressively. Parker's going to pick up the foul. For Virginia, if they're going to shoot the ball quickly, particularly from three-point range, as Jason Williford just did, the ball better go in the basket because that really sets up the North Carolina transition game.
Stackhouse eyeing his 13th first half point. Montross the foul, and look at that shove. And that sparked the temper of Yuri Barnes. Boy, it's a seconds, but you know, by the same token, you got to keep things under control.
Well, this is going to be interesting what call we have here. The foul is on Montross coming over the back of Yuri Barnes. We'll have to see if there's any technical fouls or anything called.
That's shorts to him and to the team.
Personal foul.
Montross with his first foul.
His first.
That's
Foul on 0.
see the signal for the technical, but the officials were just over there. Now Montross, if that's a technical on Montross, and that's just what they announced, you can see him tell Lenny Wirtz, on me, the personal's on Montross, the technical counts the same as a personal foul, so Montross with a couple of fouls, 2-for-1 situation there. Now Yuri Barnes is going to the line. That was a one-and-one opportunity. He missed it. And now Jamal Robinson will go to the line to shoot the 2 free throws for the technical. So Virginia missing the opportunity for 2 points as Barnes misses the front end of the one-and-one.
Robinson, a 71% foul shooter, hits the first, and now he will get another short.
Virginia only scores 1 of the 4 they had the opportunity to get. Now they will get the ball out of bounds. So that may actually work to the advantage of North Carolina. Looks like they made the big guy mad. You better score as many points as you can in that situation. Virginia only gets 1 of the possible 4.
Robinson.
What a move!
He scores again. 9 for Robinson. The Cavaliers within 2.
Look how quickly Phelps gets the ball up the court.
Grab it, grab it!
First basket of the day for Rasheed Wallace.
Jamal Robinson has been making exciting plays like this in the entire tournament. Slices in between Williams and Wallace and then leans in for the basket. Now Phelps gets the ball up quickly, gets it to Rasheed Wallace before Virginia can set the defense. North Carolina is on the attack constantly. You can never let up. Pretty good first half.
Indeed.
Here they come. They're out of pocket. 15 on the shot clock.
Jamal. And Phelps talking to him.
You better be careful about going down in there.
Shot clock at 2.
Great screen. Wallace is alone. This is a key stretch of the basketball game for Virginia. That's North Carolina's biggest lead. And that technical foul call really seems to have upped the intensity by North Carolina.
Robinson nowhere to go. Into the hands of Wallace. Carolina running with Williams. Spots up. Won't take it. To the trailing Salvadori. Tipped by Stackhouse. Under a minute to go in the half.
Deane's not in the basketball game. This is a tremendous pressure situation for Jamal Robinson and Cornell Parker to try to handle the ball because North Carolina's all over it defensively.
And Wallace gets a hand on Stackhouse. Steals and holds it. We got a foul on Wallace. His second.
That's a good call. Wallace ran right through Yuri Barnes. Yuri Barnes went to the basketball. And something that coaches will tell you, don't stand and wait for the ball to get to you. You go to the basketball. And by going to the basketball, Barnes put himself between Wallace and the ball, forced Wallace to run through him. And again, there's that reaction. Can't do that every time, Rasheed. You got to save it.
Yuri Barnes missed the front end of the one-and-one a moment ago. He's back at the line with another one and the bonus, a 59% foul shooter. He'll get the bonus. First point of the game.
39.2 seconds left in the first half. Eric Montross and Rasheed Wallace comparing notes over there.
There's Havlicek will check in for Virginia if Barnes makes this free throw. And Virginia is trailing now by 4 at 40-36. Havlicek and Chuck Wilson is the man who's checking in. Alexander goes out.
That's an interesting substitution with 39.2. And Montross with 2 fouls for the half, that personal and the technical. You run the risk of getting Montross that 3rd personal foul. I guess, however, that Deane Smith feels there's not really much possibility on the offensive end. He could get called for coming over the back, so Montross has to be very careful that he doesn't pick up a silly 3rd foul.
The shot clock now at 18. The game clock was at 20. Phelps inside to Montross. Kicks it to Willis. That's going to be an offensive foul on Cornell Parker. And look who took the charge.
That's a play by Aaron Montross to step in there and take the charge. I bet you that was on the mind of Cornell Parker. You figure you get in there, maybe you can draw that 3rd foul on Montross. But Aaron Montross doesn't shrink from the task here. Gets himself set up. Parker runs over him. That's a huge play because that ball went in the basket, and that was a 3.
Instead of trailing by 3.
Oh, and it has the potential to be an even bigger turnaround because Parker had released the ball by the time contact occurred, so it's not a player control. Montross is going to get 2 shots and misses the first one.
42-36 right now with another throw to come from Montross.
But it's a 6-point game right now, and it's only his defensive play that prevented it from being a 3-point game.
Struggling at the line.
Virginia hasn't had a field goal in the last 2 minutes and 21 seconds.
Eric missed a both. Tipped. Barnes has got it, and that will be the end of the half. The 41st ACC Championship reaches the intermission. Jeff Jones and the Cavaliers into the locker room trailing North Carolina 42-36. We asked Lenny Wirtz if he did work that game with Deane Smith in the championship game, and Lenny wouldn't answer, but he did tell us that President Washington did call to offer his congratulations on a fine job. Virginia with it. Williford up top now with DeBurrow, and the Cavaliers trailing 42-36 as the second half gets underway. Deane penetrates, dishes, Burrow blocked by Wallace, and a foul. 3rd on Wallace. Freshman Dan Bonner in name only, what we've seen this weekend.
You can see what the freshmen on each side have done in the first half. Look at that, 18 of the 42 by North Carolina scored by freshmen, 16 of Virginia's 36. Rasheed Wallace gets that personal foul. Jerry Stackhouse, he's got 12. Wallace has 4.
66% foul shooter missing.
McGinnis had 2 for North Carolina for their 18.
Again, you talked about the rebounding domination of the Tar Heels. That's been the story through the tournament. They out-rebounded Florida State by 12. Wake yesterday by 22. And another one for Rasheed.
Now those are shots that Virginia really would like to have because it's hard enough scoring against North Carolina with the guys guarding you. When you're not guarded, you really like to be able to put it in the basket. Nice cut by Reese.
And Ryan scores. Beautiful recognition by Ryan.
Now you don't throw the ball to the guy inside and stand there. Reese passed it, cut to the basket. Usually those big guys will give it back to you. But Virginia needs to score consistently. North Carolina's going to get its points. Virginia's got to answer.
I would think, Dan, that Virginia has got to make a mark offensively here in the next few minutes because the Tar Heels starting to stretch this thing out.
Absolutely. Virginia cannot afford to play from far behind against North Carolina.
And there's Yuri Barnes laying it in. He's got 4. 44-48.
Maybe just crawled in there. Derek Phelps almost came up with a very fine defensive play.
Time exhaustion. It's way to the net.
I think we'll see North Carolina try to pound that ball inside at the start Wallace, not only 6'11" with those long arms, but he's stronger than he looks. It's hard to look real big when you're out there next to Montross, but he really gets up and gets up quickly.
A reminder, friends, the announcers for this game selected and compensated by Raycom and Jefferson Pilot Sports, and the use of this broadcast without their express permission is prohibited.
North Carolina, however, not doing a very good job on the free throw line.
Tar Heels in the first half were 5 of 11 and now 5 of 12 after the first Wallace miss.
They've got a 7-point lead.
Get up!
6-point lead, but they've missed about 8 free throws.
And yet another offensive rebound. Good catch. Short, out of bounds, and Virginia gets it.
Seems like the people come out of it, from underneath with the ball. It's North Carolina. Virginia sure very thankful to have that ball bounce off one of the Tar Heels and go out of bounds. There's North Carolina. It seems like they've got those 14 in this half.
Deane methodically over midcourt against Derek Phelps. Harold takes it. Hits it. Boy, did they need that three.
That's a huge basket by Harold Deane. Now Virginia's got to get some defensive stops. There's a foul inside on Barnes.
And again, Montross had Barnes just pinned under the basket.
Montross does such a great job running down the basketball court. You know, for such a big guy, he runs the court very well. He gets down, sets himself up inside, turns around, and the ball's right there. Barnes trying to push him out, and he got caught.
Well, Derek Phelps just made a smart play.
If he catches that ball in the front court, stumbles into the back court, it's over and back, but that's what you want your senior point guard to do, is make great decisions.
Wallace. 6 points for Rasheed. Carolina 46-41.
North Carolina looks ahead to the NCAA tournament. There aren't too many teams that are going to be able to effectively defend that 1-2 inside punch. And for Virginia, it's hard to defend that guy.
I was just going to say.
And Robinson goes up to court. Larkin and Brian Reeves, they're both from New York. Possibly know one another from the playground days. That's a nice move by Barnes.
And Robinson comes away with it. Harold Deane, another three, this time from the right side. And Robinson fouls Wallace.
He really didn't get his feet set under him that time.
Second foul on Jamal.
Now, Yuri Barnes is just having a real tough time being stronger than Montross, playing the strength game with Montross. That time he tried to use a little quickness, and he did it successfully. Can't do the same thing against a guy like Montross every time down, though, because he's going to react to it.
And that time, the ball went right past as they were trying to hold each other off. 9 turnovers.
So they did hold each other off. Montross, look at Montross get position inside. Barnes trying to get up in front. And I think that's a situation where Montross expected more pressure in the rear, didn't get it, and as a result, he stumbled out of bounds. Of course, that occurred right over in front of Deane, and he got up the far.
Cavaliers can get within 1.
The foul's starting to add up inside. Montross with 3 personal fouls, and Rasheed Wallace has 2 personal fouls. Now, he's also got 3, so Montross and Wallace both with 3 personal fouls. Virginia staying in the game from the 3-point line, and the question for Jeff Jones' crew is, can they keep that up?
Absolutely. Is it fool's gold? They've earned those shots, but you're right, Dan. Can they keep it going? They're going to have to, because they just can't get a rebound.
North Carolina in the zone defense, and that's a big, active zone. Oh, my goodness!
Kicks it!
Who is that guy?
Jamal Robinson. What a weekend. Stackhouse goes up and slammed down by Alexander.
Well, you can't leave him alone. Everybody ran away from him. Hot as that guy is, somebody ought to guard him.
Cornell Parker works the right side.
Let's see if Parker tries to take Wallace. He's asking for a clear out.
Now Parker gets it into Barnes. And Chris Alexander is there. There's a pin underneath. And a hell ball on the block. Boy, that was great positioning by Montross. Didn't budge. Knew he had the backboard as an extra defender.
Look, there's Montross standing like a stone wall. He never moved.
As you watch it, we'll be back after this word from our good friends at Budweiser.
Virginia leads it by 1, and while we've had some great plays from freshmen, this is an extremely smart play by a senior. Eric Montross just keeps his hands up in the air. Chris Alexander like a pogo stick, up and down, but can't get it up through the big guy. An extremely intelligent play by Eric Montross. And if you're going to win championships, you need your seniors to make smart plays.
Stackhouse.
And he's fouled.
Big four!
He's fouled by Jamal Robinson. Stackhouse just so quick.
The third foul, Dan, on Jamal. He joins Burrow in that category for Virginia. Wallace and Montross each have 3 for the Tar Heels, and now Jason Williford will come in the game. And Robinson goes out.
Foul problems have really hurt Virginia. Now Robinson goes out. Burrow is out with 3 personal fouls. So Virginia, because of foul problems, really losing a lot of their offensive firepower. With this lineup that they have in the game right now, I think you can expect them to struggle for points, and there's another foul.
Third on Chris Alexander.
North Carolina just relentless getting the ball in bounds. Or inside. Not necessarily relentless getting in bounds, that's what you have to do, but punching it inside. You can understand why. If you had Wallace and Montross, you'd throw them the ball too.
Helps. Stackhouse. Short that time. And Williford claims it.
Good defense by Williford. He stayed right with him, and that's something not very many Cavaliers have been able to do today.
And Dan, Virginia can take the lead with a basket here. And Deane, the man.
What a tournament Harold Deane has had.
First time the Cavs have led since the 10:58 mark of the first half. It was 22-20. Pretty gutsy performance by the Cavs.
There's a guy we haven't heard from for a while, Donald Williams. And Harold Deane grabs the basketball. He's going to get called for the foul.
Third on Deane.
Number 21, Harold Deane is third.
Deane's got 3 rounds. Now watch it here as Williams gets inside, pitches the ball, excellent defense. Deane gets in there, thought he had the ball, but he's ruled that he got Stackhouse on the wrist as well. Stackhouse really drawing a lot of fouls in there.
It's a spot,
We don't
don't
have
run.
any stat on that, but I wonder how many of those Virginia fouls have been caused by Stackhouse.
Jeff McGinnis back in along with Dante Calabria.
Salvadori back in as well. Montross played 42 minutes yesterday, playing the Iron Man role again today.
You mentioned the Virginia dry spell. Well, Carolina's hit one. Scored just about 4 minutes.
Zone defense. Back to Junior Carl just picks up a silly foul. That's foul number 4. Jeff Jones is really upset. That was an oops, I didn't mean to foul, but Burrow just got in a bad position. Smart play by Calabria to get in front of him.
Junior's out. Alexander's in. Stay tuned for the Nations Bank Players of the Game Award. Nations Bank will contribute $1,000 to the ACC Postgraduate Scholarship Program. Since 1971, contributions to the program have helped fund postgraduate educational opportunities for over 50 deserving student athletes.
This is a place where North Carolina has struggled mightily today at the free throw line. They missed their last 5 prior to that. Carolina now 6 of 14 from the free throw line. There's Burrow on your right with 4. Jamal Robinson with 3 personal fouls.
Dante Calabria's first 2 points of the game. Tar Heels back on top by 1, 48-47.
Of all the people North Carolina can throw at you, as tough as they make it on you playing defensively, it's not surprising that the fouls will pile up.
Barnes, he hits it. Gary Barnes with 6. The Cavaliers now their turn to take the lead.
Virginia drops back into the zone.
Quickly into Montross, but quick hands by Alexander. And Virginia's got the ball.
Look to see Donald Williams back in the game relatively soon against this Virginia zone. Williams got a couple of baskets against the zone, drove Virginia out of the zone in the first half. Cornell Parker's done a tremendous defensive job against Williams in the second half in the man-to-man. Without Williams in the game, Virginia goes to the zone.
Urey again.
We wondered where Virginia's offense was going to come from with Robinson and Burrow on the bench, and the answer is number 24, Urey Burrow, not noted for his perimeter jump shooting, but he's nailed it. He has 8 points.
And the Cavaliers have carved out a 3-point lead, 51-48. McGinnis inside, knocked away by Barnes, and a steal for Williford. Can they complete it? No, well, it goes to McGinnis. He'll fire and hit.
Good hustle both ways. Alexander just not strong enough in the upper body to hang on to that basketball.
Parker. Barnes. Williford. Loose in the lane. Stackhouse to play. Carolina moves it quickly. McGinnis.
Nice job by McGinnis.
Montross. There's Alexander with his 4th foul.
And what created that foul opportunity was the fact that Eric Montross gets up the court and gets himself in position inside. And now Jeff Jones. Burrow was 4. Alexander was 4. Sean Wilson's got to come in the basketball game and play some very, very key minutes for Virginia.
It is becoming a war of attrition for the Cavaliers.
And that's a war that in which North Carolina holds all the advantages.
12:24 to play. And Montross, who struggled at the line today, comes back to hit this one.
When we're talking about a war of attrition, North Carolina's got 4 guys at the scorer's table ready to come in.
Phelps, Reese, and Williams, and Wallace will come in for Montross. Merrick hits his free throw.
How many teams in the country can put 4 guys in the ballgame like that at one time?
They come at you in waves.
Coming off the bench.
Parker jumps in to claim it. Tie game at 51.
See if Virginia stays in the zone defense with Williams in the game.
Jamal Robinson.
Montross encouraged him to go outside.
Here we
What a
go.
pass.
Sean Wilson, no. And reached the board.
What a pass. What a great decision by Montross to leave Wilson and get to Robinson to force that pass.
Reese penetrates. Left hands in traffic.
Look out.
Here comes Mr. Excitement.
Tough pass. Tough pass.
Parker trying to muscle it up.
He was looking for the foul there. Again, a nice job by Montross. Did not commit the foul. Williams is spotted out.
Short one.
Parker with another rebound. Here it comes. Don't know that you want to get in a racehorse kind of game with North Carolina. Jeff Jones is going to put Harold Deane back in the ball game.
Barnes. Reach. With 2 towers in there now. Montross and Salvador took that one off. We've got a timeout on the floor. 11-12 left in the championship game, and nothing's been decided.
Carolina would really like to play in the transition, not let Virginia set the defense. If Virginia's not going to turn it over, that's harder. Virginia with 16 shot opportunities, North Carolina with only 10. That's because Virginia has already committed 8 fouls. And Virginia's going to run out of guys eventually.
But looking to take the lead on this possession. Williford. Now the Tar Heels can take the advantage.
Both teams in the zone. Virginia stays in the zone. North Carolina in the zone after that timeout on the inbounds play. Got to find Donald Williams in this particular defense.
Right now he's lurking on the far side. Underneath the Wallace! My goodness!
Of course, you can always find Rasheed Wallace.
Boy, that happened so quickly.
That's one of the keys with Wallace. It happened quickly. That young man can get in there. Boy, the quickness that he and Stackhouse possess. Big cut kids. Carolina Williford may be a key guy going down the stretch. He may have some of those open three opportunities. He just missed one. That's a bad place to go with the ball. First turnover, but Parker gets it right back.
Big play. Carolina was off and running.
Well, we talked about the turnovers leading to transition baskets, and North Carolina had a 4-on-1. But Cornell Parker, noted for his defense, makes a big defensive play right there. Virginia has missed 5 straight shots. Here comes Donald Williams. That Parker has himself in position. That's clear. You can see North Carolina. You got 2 guys running free down the court. Parker very happy with that play. Or else he's stretching out a tight back. I don't know. Here's Burrow back in the ballgame. He's got 4 personal fouls. He's got to be very, very careful. Look for North Carolina to attack him on the defensive end.
Around the ring to Deane. Can he get his own miss? No, but Burrow can. And now Virginia resets. You see the score and the time. Boy, it's been a dandy. Virginia, the Tar Heels. Burrow. Taken away by Phelps. Up ahead to Stackhouse. Wilson brings it.
Cornell Parker.
And look at the D by Phelps.
A good job by Parker. He made a great defensive play. Got up off his back, came in and dove on his stomach and got the ball.
Wow. Into Burrow. Nowhere to go. Wilson will take it and hit it. Sean Wilson, who had just 1 field goal in ACC play, hits his first basket of the tournament. Too long. In the lane, Stackhouse is fouled.
That's on Harold Deane.
Color at 4 fouls on Harold. 8:43 left.
I think this ball is going to hit Junior Burrow right in the head. Oh, no, this is the previous play. Stackhouse misses the dunk. Now, Phelps very nearly gets the steal. Watch come flying into your picture right there, Cornell Parker. What a play by Cornell Parker.
Barnes and Wilson replace Deane and Burrow.
There's 8 minutes and 43 seconds left in the game. You can see Virginia's foul trouble. They're in it deep.
Jerry Stackhouse missing that opportunity. He hasn't scored in the second half.
North Carolina continues to struggle from the free throw line. They're really giving the Cavaliers life. 8 of 18 from the line. They got 8 of 19, but there's what's keeping North Carolina despite those 11 missed free throws. That's why this game is tied. North Carolina may be missing free throws, but they're just all over the backboard.
Wallace inside to Montross.
He's got to be
A lot of congestion. Wilson clean.
Smith shaking his head over there. The game very, very physical.
Tied at 53 with 8:15 to play. Robinson, Williford. Can Uri Barge on another one? No.
Wilson with the tip, and he missed.
And just missed. Well, look like that. They're going to go in for it. Now the Tar Heels with Phelps. Labria looking inside first.
Finds Stackhouse.
Dante, 3-pointer. And I think Parker may have gotten just a piece of that. Now Robinson comes out. Here comes Virginia 2-on-2. Robinson a little fancy, but gets it over to Parker.
A little fancy?
A lot fancy.
20 on the shot clock.
Barnes on the jump. Bounce to Parker. 10 on the shot clock.
Who's he throwing that to? Phelps got a hand on that, knocked it away. It's been a while since anybody scored.
Another whistle. Another Virginia foul.
Ball is against Jerry Barnes, number 24.
Wilson is second.
I'm sorry, Wilson. They called on 52. I thought they signaled Barnes.
Second unshown. Parker out. Alexander in.
Wilson is one of the few guys in there who can afford fouls for Virginia.
He's got a couple left. Chris Alexander is back. He's playing with 4.
Harold Deane was 4, Alexander was 4.
Burrow out right now. Virginia has fouled 10 times in the second half. Carolina only 3, so a long time until the Cavaliers get to the line of a common foul. Here's Stackhouse.
That's through fouling that Virginia's been holding the fort inside. North Carolina with their tremendous advantage, and they've been utilizing it effectively. Their problem has been conversions from the free throw line. Stackhouse takes care of that.
He is 3 for 7.
The first points we've had in a while. We were stuck on 53 there. See, Stackhouse a better free throw shooter than he's shown today.
He's got 14 points, and Carolina's got a 2-point lead. 7:04 to play with the championship hanging in the balance. It's the Tar Heels by 2.
There's Rasheed Wallace, North Carolina, big and strong and deep. Virginia's only down 2 with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left in the game. The last Cavalier basket at 8:58, and you have to wonder if Virginia's going to be able to stand up to the deeper Tar Heels as we go down the stretch. Deane with 4 personal fouls has to be very careful.
Reese to double. Robinson to Williford. Inside quickly, and a good bucket for Yuri Barnes. He's got double figures with 10.
That's the second half he's had.
Well, he's bailed out the Cavaliers when the points were few and far between.
You need some inside scoring with Burrow in foul trouble. Barnes has stepped up.
Wallace, straight look, nails it.
Good
Deane. Salvadori rebounds.
North Carolina running.
Calabria's open with Barnes right at him, a 3. Now Carolina leads by 5, and you feel the pressure mounting on Virginia's shoulders.
This is a big offensive possession for Virginia. Shot clock.
Robinson to Deane to Williford at the pebble. So the Cavaliers come up shy, 5:47 remaining in the game. Tar Heels up 60-55.
So Virginia fails on what may have been their biggest offensive possession of the game, and now they're faced with what may be their biggest defensive stand of this basketball game.
And goes zone. Deane goes to get Don Williams off the bench.
You can't beat Calabria, though. He just showed you hitting that 3.
Off his fingertips, but he saves it off the leg of Williford. 17. The guard play for the Tar Heels, Dan, in that first half. 17 points between Phelps and Williams. Agusa, 9 points between those two in the second half.
North Carolina has attacked inside for the most part in the second half, and I think they've really accomplished their purpose. A lot of fouls by Virginia, a lot of easy baskets by North Carolina. The Cavaliers are really in trouble there.
Virginia ball. Wallace lost it to
Jeff Jones telling his troops to calm down.
This really is the most crucial part of this game for Virginia.
Montross just gets great position inside, and Junior Burrow just cannot afford to play him aggressively. Burrow has 4 personal fouls.
Phelps nearly with Williams completed that steal.
And you might say, well, why do you even have Burrow in the game if he can't play aggressively on the defensive end? Virginia's problem isn't defensively, it's offensively. They've got to get some points. Burrow is their most effective inside scorer on offense.
Junior back out to Parker. Deane faking, and that is going to be a foul on Stackhouse.
That's not a bad foul, however. North Carolina can only afford to run at a guy like Harold Deane, because if he penetrates past you on the perimeter, he's just driving into Montross and Wallace, and that's only personal foul number 4. Virginia, only 2 for its last 10 overall, 0 for 5 for its last 3-pointers.
Back out to Parker, to Deane.
They're really running at Virginia out on the perimeter. That's a big basket by Harold Deane.
Keeps Virginia alive. 62-57 with 4:40 left.
Good for North Carolina.
word from our good friends at Budweiser.
Now, North Carolina with the turnover, they were operating extremely effectively on the offensive end. This is an opportunity for Virginia. Stackhouse going to match up with Harold Deane. Three-pointer would really make this an interesting final 3 minutes. Man-to-man for North Carolina.
Shot clock at 20. Shot clock now coming at the 10-second mark right now. Deane penetrates, hold it. We've got a foul, says Laurie Rose, and a push on Stackhouse.
That is a tough matchup for Harold Deane. Much like what Deane's problem was yesterday, trying to operate against Grant Hill. Stackhouse quick enough to stay with him, big enough to bother the jump shot inside. But here Deane, just a little bit quicker, is going to get the ball, get past, and watches Jerry Stackhouse puts his hands on him as he drives into the lane, and that's what the foul call was for. Carolina now in the zone.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in the game. Tar Heels by 5. Robinson on the deck. Goes up, goes to the back, but a tip. No! Wouldn't go. Foul on Virginia.
Jeff Jones really upset. Felt like Jamal Robinson got fouled on that trip to the basket. Jeff Jones knows what a close thing that was. Robinson's bucket. Robinson's shot nearly goes in the basket. Watch Robinson here. Gets in, leans in between Montross. That's a pretty good no call. Parker almost goes in. So close, and then Yuri Barnes gets the foul reaching over the back. Boy, nice tip, nice drive, and good defense.
And Montross, who struggled at the line, puts it in, so it's points that you don't get. Points the opposition does get.
Montross 3 of 8 now from the free throw line. And gets that one to go. 2 big free throws.
7-point Carolina lead. A dozen.
Virginia needs a 3.
And Deane surprises from NBA range. Virginia timeout. His third three-pointer, and the Cavaliers still have life. 2:27 to play. Carolina 66 and Virginia 62. We'll return after these messages. North Carolina 66, Virginia 62. And Harold Deane steps up once again for the Cavaliers.
Virginia made 7 of its first 11 three-pointers, only 2 of its last 9. That's an NBA 3. No bigger shot in this basketball game than that one by Harold Deane.
Cavaliers saving their best for last. 9 three-pointers today. The season best for Virginia, 10. That was against Wake Forest in the regular year. They've hit 9 of 20 overall, but just 2 of their last 9. But as you point out, Dan, that big 3 by that young man has kept Virginia in this game.
Well, it's defense that has kept the Cavaliers in games all season long. No different today, and now they've got to turn this ball over to their defense. They're going to need a defensive stop. You cannot trade baskets with North Carolina right now. You've got to stop them, and then you've got to convert. North Carolina is still with only 5 personal fouls in the second half, so they've got a couple of fouls to give. I guess 1 foul to give specifically. Virginia in the man-to-man. North Carolina going to try to work some clock. 10 on the shot clock. 2 on game clock. Nice pass.
Montross stepped out of bounds, flips it back in, and a foul on Wallace. Well, the Cavaliers end up with it. I thought Montross had stepped out of bounds when he flipped it back in.
Well, Montross did a great job. Not only did he fling it back in, but he threw it way up in the air, and he figured that his teammates could go and get it. This is great hustle by Montross. He gets it way up in the air. You figure that the white shirts are going to get that one, but Rasheed Wallace climbs on the back of Jamal Robinson.
Well, sort of in a left-handed way, they got the defensive stop they needed. Now can they convert? A minute 40 left. 4-point lead for North Carolina. Robinson. And Williams the ball.
Virginia's got to get on him defensively. For the Cavaliers, Phelps with the ball in his hand. Deane can't foul him. Deane's got 4 fouls.
The thing about that play, Dan, is that his sense of what was happening, he saw Stackhouse lose the ball, and then Deane just jumps all over.
You see Harold Deane go after the ball? Derek Phelps stood there. Derek Phelps did not go after the ball, and that enabled Harold Deane to get at it. Virginia with only 2 free throws in the second half. They've missed them both, but Harold Deane, with this play, gets his body into Stackhouse. Very effective way to draw the foul and also get it up there with a chance for the three. You can see that he's hurt his hip.
70% foul shooter. Harold with 18.
Now there's 54.5 seconds left in the basketball game. Jason Williford, if Deane makes this, is going to report in for Harold Deane. North Carolina is going to have to shoot the ball again, and the Cavaliers have the decision to make. Do they foul or do they play tough defense and see if they can cause the turnover? If North Carolina runs the shot clock down just about to the end and then converts, then the ball game's probably over. If Virginia can get a defensive stop, then they have the opportunity to tie.
Calabria over to Stackhouse. He explodes out of the pass to Williams. Donald
That's
takes
not
it,
a good shot.
but he has
Into the basket, so it's a good shot, but you didn't need the shot at that point in the game.
one spread again. 40 seconds to play. Parker.
Well, you don't have all day to mess around here. You got to get a shot at it.
And Cornell takes the three and misses it. Rebound tipped out. Virginia ball with 33 seconds left. Burrow and Deane will come back.
Deane and Montross back for the Cavaliers. Wallace is his favorite.
68 North Carolina, 64 Virginia. And Dean Smith takes a timeout. 33 seconds remaining in the championship game, and what a battle it has been. North Carolina unable to put Virginia away. Donald Williams hit that shot, man, but you're right, they had a chance to really milk that clock some.
Well, the ball went in the basket. North Carolina has had success the entire basketball game in the transition, but that was not an easy shot that Donald Williams took. North Carolina didn't really have perfect rebounding position, but you expect your big play guys to make big plays, and that was certainly a good play. As he shot the ball from our angle, I thought it was short. And had Virginia been able to claim the rebound, but of course that's all if Donald Williams makes the basket, and so as a result, North Carolina really has Virginia in the hole. Cavaliers 4 points down with 33 seconds left to go in the game.
18 years since Virginia won its first and only ACC Tournament Championship. That was in Landover. They beat North Carolina in that one, 67-62, and Wally Walker was the MVP. Had a chance to see Wally last night in the college basketball game from the West Coast. Wonder if he's peeking in on the proceedings from the Coliseum today. Meanwhile, here in Charlotte, the Tar Heels are just practically unbeatable. Their record in this city is incredible. 115-14 all time. 17-4 in this new magnificent Charlotte Coliseum.
One of the things that North Carolina has done very effectively down the stretch has been able to stay away from the free throw line. They haven't shot free throws very well, and so Virginia hasn't really been in the position to give up fouls to try to get the ball back. That young man has had an outstanding basketball game today. He's been such a force on the inside. North Carolina with very good balance, but Montross has really been big, literally inside. Virginia's got to get it up quickly.
Robinson picks up his dribble. He takes the leaner and missed it. Long board to the corner, and it's going to be out of bounds to North Carolina.
Good defense by North Carolina. They cut off Robinson's penetration and then cut off his passing lanes. I think he was worried about the 5-second violation.
Robinson limping also, Danny, in the deck hard, trying to get that basketball.
Well, now,
Banged his knee.
Williford comes in. Mike Powell's going to come in the game. Chris Alexander's in the game. Now what Jeff Jones is going to do here is Robinson limps out. He's got guys with 4 personal fouls on the bench. Look for Virginia to foul immediately.
And Parker wraps up Donald Williams.
Less than a second, kicks off the clock.
Number 5, Cornell Parker.
The story at the free throw line for North Carolina has been 12 of 23, 52% below their substandard seasonal average of 66%.
Now, even if Williams converts both of these free throws, you still have a 2 two-possession basketball game, but it's the maximum of 2 possessions. Virginia would have to get 2 threes in a space of less than 21 seconds, while North Carolina wouldn't score anymore at all.
And it's not like the Tar Heels wouldn't challenge those threes.
North Carolina probably defends the three-point line as well as any team in the country.
Donald Williams has scored 11 in a season truncated by injury. He missed 9 games. Badly bruised that shoulder against the Cavs in Charlottesville. Buries these two, and it's 70-64.
So it's as hard as it can be for Virginia.
Deane trying to draw the foul, misses the 3, and that one is claimed by Montross. The Tar Heels are on their way.
And Deane just fouled out of the game.
Eric Montross embracing with Rasheed Wallace. He threw, as soon as he claimed the rebound and released it, put both fists in the air. He knew it was history. 9 seconds left, and the Tar Heels with a 6-point lead.
Harold Deane is fouled out of the basketball game. What a tournament Harold Deane has had.
Harold Deane fouling out, as you mentioned, Dan. 19 points today in a sensational tournament. 22 against Maryland, 18 points and 9 rebounds against Duke yesterday. And coming back with a strong second half for the Cavs. What a year, in addition to what a tournament.
Virginia, with their play in this tournament, Bob, has assured that their year is not over yet.
Donald Williams missing, and now a second opportunity. Question about the Carolina substitution. Stackhouse is at the table. He can't commit right now, says Frank Stackhouse.
Dean Smith would like to get his reserves in the ball game.
And he will at this opportunity. Coming in will be McGinnis and Calabria, Davis and Landry, Reese, Phelps, Williams go out. And Eric Montross.
Fine floor game by Derek Phelps. Great decision making the entire game, but Eric Montross, what a force in the middle.
Mike Powell all the way, lays it in. 71-66. McGinnis baseballs